Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Congratulations on making it to all the good interview shortlists that you have this year. I sincerely hope and wish that you convert all of them and then you're overwhelmed with a lot of choices. But if you have less interview calls and this is one of those, then please make sure that you're giving day and night in your preparation. And I'm here to help you out with that through my past videos as well as this video where I'm helping these students to understand and cover the best out of their interview from learning from my mistakes and my experiences as best as they can. Now you can actually check out my playlist as well where I have converted a holistic points of not only interviews but my IIM experience as well, also my Deloitte experience where I had a consulting journey and I have created a consulting blueprint as well. These experiences are very candid, short with minimal editing so that you can actually focus on the quality of content and take notes from it, and I have poured my heart into it. Regardless, if you have further doubts, clarification, whatever is needed, or even a suggestion on what could be my next topic which I should make a video on, please feel free to drop a comment and let's go deep dive into this particular video. Now, for the IIFT interview experience, you need to understand one thing, that you need to be thorough with a mindset of group discussion. For IIFT Delhi, it's very crucial that you perform very well both on the GD aspect as well as in the interview aspect, because if an interviewer likes you, then make sure that your call is converted. Because what happens is the two interviews which sit in the GDPI panel are very different from the ones who actually take your interview. Hence it makes utmost importance that you have a positive lasting impression on all of them, and that, my friend, will only come through practice. So take a certain number of GD topics, generate certain abstract topics or tough topics, and try to jot down your points in a minute or two through chat GPT. That could be the best practice you can do instead of wasting maybe a lot of money and lot of interview experience resources from a different institutions. Focus on the quality resources, focused on few resources that you have in hand, and your personal practice will only take you the long way, is my first particular advice for you. Number two, how the IIFT interview experience actually happens. Now, number one, first part which happens in IIFT interview is the GD. Number two, after that GD, you actually go on to give your interview. And this GD is not an eliminative process like the SPJIMR interview. Now, this is something you should be very mindful of. I have covered these SPJIMR interview, NMIMS interview, and many IIM interviews as well before this. You can actually go and watch those videos. In SPJIMR, the round one itself used to be eliminative. Thankfully, I made it till round two. But then in IIFT, you are part of both GD and PI, and your cumulative score is something which makes the lasting impact on your overall result. So for GD, we were 7 to 8 students. We were sitting, our name cards were written in front of us so that interview can actually give us marks based on our performance. We could enter the discussion at any point of time, lead the discussion at any point of time. 2 to 3 inputs were a quality inputs which were expected, and a good conclusion was expected from the whole group. Now initially I would request you to come in within the second third itself so that your having a lasting impression, because after a point of time it becomes a fish market overall and people just start to say anything and everything. At that particular point you need to come in, step in, use certain terms which actually changes the direction of the GD. And if you would want, you can comment. I can make a particular video directly on the GD experience and how to perform better from my experience so that you can have a better understanding of that sort. Now I'll just simply share the questions that were asked to me in my interview experience so that you can understand the perspectives of the teacher and can prepare accordingly. The first GD topic was impact of blockchain technology on global finance. Now please be mindful that when we talk about foreign trade, a lot of questions will revolve around finance or the economic standpoint, and hence your GD pointers or even the interview questions are bound to be on that. And hence make sure that you're covering and learning about these topics well in advance to make sure you have a lasting impression on your teachers. Now, apart from this, my interview experience was such that I was first asked about what other different calls do I have and how do I maybe prioritize or see IIFT amidst those calls. And I had to ensure that I give a proper answer there. Then I was asked about what is equity fund, what is debt fund, what is hybrid, and how are these different from each other. And as I said, IIFT being a foreign trade institution, you have to make sure that your finance and economic side of things are very good, because a lot of questions will be coming to you from these particular backgrounds. Then who actually governs mutual fund investment in India? How will you tackle the inflation? What is the repo rate? How it is being cut? What it is being judged upon? Does RBI have a role to play, or does the government actually plays a direct role in that? Who takes the final decision on whether repo rate should be increased or decreased? Or what are the monetary or fiscal policies? Now when I say these all questions, I want you to take a note of them and understand from the perspective that these questions are again coming from finance background. As I told you, again, when you talk about monetary and fiscal policy, usually fiscal policy, what happens is government spending plays a big role. Basically, GDP of any country is dependent on C, I, G, and NX. C being your consumption, I being your investment, G being your government expenditure, and NX being your exports and imports. So, how these actually play a big role in your economy from the domestic point of view, from international point of view, how different inflation rate or the real inflation rate actually affect the policies and the monetary policies and the income of both your country as well as the another country. How these understanding works from the economics point of view is something I would request you to have a look, maybe through YouTube or chat GPT. This will help you a long way in your interview experiences when you're being grilled upon, because when you know certain terminologies or how things work in MBA or foreign trade for that matter, this will directly give you a direct edge over other people who are sitting in that particular interview. Then you are being, then I don't know why I was then asked simple questions later on in the interview that were being, what is simple interest, compound interest, what is the difference between simple and compound interest, Cold War, what is European Union, how their policies are working out, how EU focused on their military alliance or their trade alliances, how the World War II scenario for them looked like. And there were certain questions based on my academics also, which I'm not able to recollect as of now, but I wanted to give you the direct candid questions which were asked to me. You can expect questions on the similar lines, and you can actually be definitely be asked upon foreign trade policies and what is the news going on globally. So at least make sure that the last 1 or 2 months news, you are having a crisp insights and summary of all of them, because you are definitely be going to be asked about them, if not all the news. And hence, even if you have certain news in mind and you relate them in your answers, it will give you good brownie points and it will help you convert your IIFT call. Also, once the results come out, IIFT is one such college which has a common list movement for both Kolkata as well as Delhi campus, and now they have two other campuses in terms of Kakinada and Gift City as well. So when you actually receive a call, if you convert the call directly for Delhi, well and good. Otherwise, what happens to a lot of people is they do convert the calls, but they are in the wait list, and wait list movement actually happens at a lot of later stage when other institutions like NMIMS, SPJIMR, other IIMs actually start those colleges. So if you don't want to miss out on these things, make sure that you're giving your best in every interview and you're converting your best IIFT call, which is IIFT Delhi call, the main campus call. And why I'm emphasizing on this again and again is you can actually go on and see in my previous videos, your every interview shapes your answer and journey for the next interview. If you fumble in any interview, that lack of confidence will actually take and go in your next interview, which we do not want to happen, right? This is a marathon, not a sprint. So please make sure that you're giving your best and disassociating yourself from the results, taking every opportunity with utmost sincerity, and making sure that you convert the best of calls possible. I'll be sitting here, I'll be coming and seeing in you the into the next video where we'll decide and we'll see which is the best possible calls for you, right? So until then, take